Good morning, comics community. Hope everybody's well. I found some time to squeeze in a little video for you. Amazing. I've decided to open up my Alan Class approved comics archives, which I wasn't planning to do for many years when I'd actually collected everything. But necessity forces me to do that. So Alan Class Comics, the last time they published a comic was in the late 80s, I believe 1989, when Alan Class retired. I collect Alan Class twofold, probably threefold reasons, many reasons. They do have some issues where they are crazy prices. But many issues are super cheap and very collectible. Alan Class published comics, well, reprinted issues from the Atom Age mostly, some from the Golden Age and some from the Silver Age. The Silver Age ones tended to be Marvel and published characters such as Thor, Spider-Man, the Avengers, Daredevil. But they were very much hit and miss. They weren't concurrent, except for a certain slab of Creepy Worlds comics, which reprinted Fantastic Four concurrently. Those are ones that command very high prices, generally. I said the vast majority, fantastic artwork from the Atom Age, mostly Charlton. So yeah, opening up my archives for Alan Class, I'm just going to be picking, not necessarily every week, but I will be interspersing that with other stuff to be continued. But yeah, I'll be showing sort of like 5 Alan Class comics at a time, and maybe talk a little bit about them. The singular thing that gets me about Alan Class, approved comics being the full title, is the gorgeous artwork. Yes, reprinted, but fantastic. You've got artwork from Steve Ditko, Joe Maneely, loads, Jack Kirby, loads, relatively inexpensive. So, random issues I'm showing you. This is Amazing Stories of Suspense. They did put Astonishing Tales up on the top there. To this day, I don't know why, as that was the main title. Everybody calls these books Suspense. It's actually Amazing Stories of Suspense. Apart from picking this one out to show you the fantastic artwork, always gets me every time. I've picked this out because we are in a time period when this was published, which would be the late 60s, where in the UK we're changing over from pre-decimal, pounds, shillings and pence, to post-decimal, pence basically. So Alan Class printed both prices. So they cornered the market of how long they could keep their comics on the shelves. So this particular one, you've got the old pre-decimal 1 shilling and 5 pence. So pre-decimal, post-decimal. And a shilling is still worth 5 pence. And if anybody's familiar with what shillings look like, they're like little shirt button size, sort of silver, or silvered, should I say. I remember them very well. Alan Class comics are also printed entirely in black and white on the insides. No colour whatsoever. And sometimes I feel that's a bonus, because I like to see the actual inking on pencils. Sometimes colour distracts from that, in my humble opinion. And you also get little things which wouldn't be acceptable today. I think you all know what that is. And on the back, yeah, you got the big 6. Suspense, Sinister Tales, Creepy Worlds, Secrets of the Unknown, Uncanny Tales, and Astonishing Stories. That was Alan Class's Big 6. Titles which they published week in, week out. Now, many kids my age at that time, basically pre-teenagers, teenagers, they get these comics generally when they go on holiday. They'd mostly be visiting the local towns, mostly like a caravan park, which is still a big thing in the UK, where everybody would rock up with either a tent or their caravan, pitch up, and you'd have like a shop, centralised shopping thing, which would be generally just like one hut with a counter, and you get your milk and your basic food, eggs, bacon and whatnot. And yeah, there'd be like a spinner rack there generally. God, I miss those days. Happy 9-year-old going to a place like that and what's on the rack this time round? And you like pick 3 or 4 to read while your mum and dad were on the beach or whatever, you know. What do you do to keep a young Ken quiet? You give him some comics. So this is a lovely issue by Steve Ditko. This is a Secrets of the Unknown, one of the big 6. So it's a post-decimal 5-pencer. Now the thing with some of these issues, you can't be too precious about it. You know, if you see them and it's not too much money and you like the look of it, and buy it. Except the issues might come with previous owners' pen marks on it. It's just one of those things. I mean, it might bother some people, but it doesn't bother me anymore. It really doesn't. As long as I've got the issue in hand, that's the main thing. Steve Ditko, the master of mystery and suspense artwork. Well, his artwork would take you to incredible realms of weird dimensionality. Most notably in his Doctor Strange early issues. But that's lovely, that is. Look at that. That's... superb. Yep. See, the other thing with Alan Class comics is they never put any credits inside the Indashir. Those were gone. So yeah, generally you look at the cover. If you've got a trained eye, you can see who actually drew the thing. And sometimes, luckily, you might find the name. Here's another Ditko cover that I absolutely love. Again, this is quite a later Alan Class. This is Secrets of the Unknown 211. So I guess at 25p, it's quite a late one. So we're looking, I think, late 80s when this came out. But that's beautiful. Artwork, kiddies, that's what it's all about. There's lots of silly things. Comics should be silly. The Lake That Lived. And I thought I'd just pick out one of the Silver Age Marvel stories that Alan Class published. This is an Avengers one. Suspense number 52 at 1 shilling. And it's stuff like this that commands a higher price purely because it's the Avengers, it's Marvel. When I say a higher price, what do I mean? I mean it is generally over £15 to £20. If you're lucky and nobody's watching a particular bid on eBay, let's say, sometimes you can snatch this up at the lower margin. Sometimes £5 to £10. But generally they command higher prices. Yeah, so it's only the Fantastic Four and Creepy Worlds that I found to command absolutely bonkers prices. But depends what you're looking for, really. You know, nobody's forcing anybody to to collect and pay those prices. They're great. I mean, for what, £15? Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. That's a great one to own. Love it. Oh, yet another thing about Allen Class is because they are basically what they call square bound issues. If you're lucky, they will look quite decent. But generally, rule of thumb, they tend to be a little bit on the ragged side. Please don't let that put you off. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You know, proud to own that, as ragged as it is. And here's the last one I'm going to show you today. It's a post-decimal Secrets of the Unknown. I'm showing you because it's really funky artwork drawn by Joe Sinnott. And it's lovely, silly, stupid, out of this world sci-fi artwork that I buy these issues for primarily, honestly. And that's great. Goofy as heck. You've always got the bug-eyed Martian. And they're always Martians, aren't they? They're either Martians or Venusians. Superb. Look at that. Just the detail on these stories. So there we go, guys and gals, lovely folk. Just a quick dip into Allen Class. I should imagine there'll be more of these rather than not so more of these, as I've got a lot. But there's not going to be any series, as I haven't collected the entire series of the Allen Class 6 comic books. And they did a shed load of smaller things as well, such as Tales of the Underworld, which only ran for about 10 issues. There's loads of those, but the big 6 are what I primarily collect. So yeah, having to stick to what I said before, finding time and all that. The next video might be in 10 days, might be tomorrow. We shall see. I'll do my best for you. Always do my best. And I hope this is something that grabs you, seeing such fantastic artwork, pretty much super cheap comics from a well-established publisher. Yeah, I love Allen Class. Great books. So yep, random picks. Hope you enjoy. And I shall see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone.